Good afternoon. I had such a good response on my smoked sausage video that I thought I'd show you something else, help you out in these hard times. We're gonna make us some cracklins. I got my pork fat that's left over from making all my venison sausage and hamburger and stuff. So instead of throwing it away, I'm gonna render it down, cook me some cracklins. I like to eat cracklins, and we mix it. We make what's called cracklin cornbread, real good with your greens. But before we get started, I want to show you some things and talk to you about a little something. Now, this is something that's kind of dear to my heart. All right, if you see right here, this says Erie, Pennsylvania, USA. I'm hoping when all this is over with that this country wakes up and we got to quit being dependent on all these foreign nations, because there ain't nothing out there that they make that we can't make, and there ain't nothing out there that we can't make better. You know, my generation, when we were coming up, pretty well everything that we got as children was made in the USA. All my daddy's tools, the tools that I buy, when I buy a masonry tool, when I buy a level, I make sure it says made in the USA. Buy my trowel, make sure it says USA on it. It's just, it takes care of my fellow Americans, but it's a better product. It's a better product. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story, and then I'll get started cooking these cracklins. Back a few years back, when me and my son had our outdoor store, we sold rifles and shotguns, bows and arrows and fishing equipment and, bait and tackle and knives and, we sold, and some camouflage. Well, one Christmas, just before Christmas, I had this, she might have been in her early 40s. It was a Mexican lady, and her daughter came into the store. Well, the young girl walked up to me and says, my mother wants to buy some pocket knives to send home for Christmas presents. And I'm going to be her translator because she doesn't speak any English. Okay, no big deal. So we walk over to the knife thing, and I start getting out the pocket knives and open them up and handing them to her. And she looks at them. She just shakes her head and lays it down. I give her another one. And she keeps shaking them down. And she says something to her daughter. Of course, I don't know what she said. And her daughter says, "Do you have any knives that are made in the USA?" And I'm like, "Well, yes, ma'am, I do." So I reached down and I got my cases out. I started opening them and handing her my case knives, and she got a big old smile on her face, and pointed to her daughter. She pointed to it, USA, USA. That lady bought close to $400 worth of pocket knives that day. She wanted to send one to her daddy and a couple of uncles and her brother. And it struck me, I kind of had an awakening, I guess you'd say. It's kind of sad when, a visitor to our country respects made in USA more so than we do. So just want to leave you with that little thought. And I'm going to get started cooking some cracklins. All right. All right, first thing you got to do, got my cast iron skillet. It's all seasoned up, ready to go. We'll put a little bit of water in there. What that's for is so you don't burn them cracklins when you first put them in. Because once you get some grease, you won't burn them, but you got to get them started. But back in my grandma's day, they used to judge a hog by how much lard they could get off of him. Not how good he yielded with the meat, but how much lard they could cook off of him. You know, because that was their only source of cooking oil. You know, and you know, some people still use lard. We don't use it much, but keep some around. Use it in making biscuits, stuff like that. But I dearly love my crackling cornbread, so that's the main reason. But all right, I'm gonna get this first batch, get it started, get me some grease in there, and then once I get it going, we'll come back time and time again. All right. I don't know if you can hear them crackling, but they're cooking down pretty good. I know a lot of you might think, you know, frying up pork fat, well, it's kind of an old southern thing. But they sure do eat good when you get them cooked down. I know the doctors probably wouldn't think much of it, but you know, you got to think about it. When I get through frying these, I'll be cooked all the fat out of them. They're just gonna be, you know, the fried gristle basically. But like I say, we do keep the lard. Don't use it much, but for seasoning or whatever. But you know, the way this deal may turn out for us with this Corolla, you might need to do this to get you some grease. Yeah. Whenever you get your pork, trim the fat off of it, the extra fat, instead of wasting it. Save it up, freeze it till you get enough to cook you down a pot. You know, try making some cracklins. You might find that you really like them. All right, that's what you're looking for. Nice golden brown color. You can tell there's like half as much as I had. I would put them on a brown paper bag, or you know, paper towels if you got them, but these days paper towels are hard to come by. Now I get all these cracklings dipped out. I got my pan of grease left, and once I get all these little pieces of cracklings out, I'll throw a couple taters in there to clean my oil, or my lard if you want to tell it what it is. All right, now we throw up some sliced up potatoes. Clean that grease. All right, put your little salt on there. Always best salted while they're hot. And being that I ain't supposed to eat salt, I use no salt. All right, now, just so you don't misunderstand, cracklins are nothing but the fat, no hide on them. That's hog skins when you cook them with the hide on. But when you if you cook them like that and put them in your cornbread, you might break a tooth on that old hard rind. So when I make cracklins, that's just nothing but pieces of fat fried, deep fried in its own grease. All right, now I'm gonna turn that off. I'll let that grease cool down. Get the potatoes out, and I'll cook up another batch. I'll pour about 90% of that oil off, put it in a can, to keep it from a lard. All right, well, I hope it introduced you to something that you didn't know about, and times get real hard, you'll know how to get you some cooking oil and what to do with how to eat fat. But all right, now you see how pretty and brown they are? Lord, ain't all that bad. Just because the doctors say it is. You know, they don't know everything. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Maybe learned a little something. Maybe help you through the hard times. Y'all keep your family safe. And try to do what they tell us to do. You know, we want to get this over with because we all need to get back to work. Alright, it's Florida Cracker Outdoors. Y'all subscribe. Keep watching.